So this is something obvious. We have to know how to enter vectors and matrices. For example, consider the vector x equals 5 minus 22, 7.5. So how to input this R? Basically, you will simply write x equal to 5 minus 22, 7.5, but you will just put a C. This C is for combining things, and that's it. So suppose what's x is this. So what's the first element of x? X third bracket 1, it's 5. What's the second element? Minus 22. What's the third element? 7.5. Now similarly, let me just copy it. I'll just type stuff in console and copy and paste it back so that we can come back later. So let me denote another vector. So y is the vector minus 3.7, 5.2, and 11. So let me put this guy in the console. And what's y? That's it. What's the second element of y? Y third bracket 2. It's 5.2. As we expect. Now, just like numbers, vectors can be added, subtracted, multiplied, and divided. So for example, x plus y is, just do the element wise addition. That means first element of x is 5, first element of y is minus 3.7. If you add them, you'll get 1.3. Similarly, here the first element is minus 22, here it's 5.2. If you add them, you will get minus 16.8. This is obvious. X times y, also element by element multiplication. That means minus 18.5 is the result of multiplying 5 and minus 3.7. That's it. And suppose x by y is the same. X minus y is obviously similar, just the same. Also, suppose you want to do x plus 3. That means you just add 3 to all of them. Like 5 plus 3 is 8, minus 22 plus 3 is minus 19, and 7.5 plus 3 is 10.5. So let me just write this down. So x plus y, x minus y, x divided by y, x times y, and x plus 5, which all carry, x plus 3 suppose, which all carry their usual meanings. Now there are some special vectors, and we have a special ways of introducing them, which saves us time. For example, if you want the vector v as, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, ... 48, 49, 50, you don't have to waste your time. You can just put v equals, ordinarily you are thinking I have to write c, then bracket open, bracket close, within 1, 2, 3, and keep on writing. No, so that's a lot of waste of time. I'll just write 1 through 50. 1 colon 50. That's it. So now my V is as we expect. And once again, if I want V is from 1 through 49, don't do 1 through 50 minus 1. That will give you 0 through 49. If you want to write like that, write the 50 minus 1 within bracket. I mean, obviously you can directly write 49. I'm just making a point. So V is 1 through 50. Next, suppose you want V to be the vector five, 5, 5, 5. So 5 repeated 4 times. Then you can simply write V equal to rep for repeat 5 4 times, 5 comma 4. Then V will be as you wish. Or suppose you want V to be the vector like 7.2 repeated 10 times. Then V will be 7.2 repeated 10 times. So let me copy this down. Okay. Finally, most important is, so suppose, like, let me just write it down. So suppose I write V equals SEQ for sequence, from equal to 5 to equal to 10 by equal to 0.1. Then V is the vector which starts from 5 right here, which ends at 10, and the distance between any two elements is 0.1, like 5, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, etc. Also, if we want, we can write V equals sequence from equal to 5 to equal to 10, but now we want to specify the length of the vector. Suppose the length of the vector is 20. So then V is a vector this. This is the first element, second element, dot dot dot. This is the 20th element. So for example, what's V18? It's this guy. That's all. So let me again copy these guys down. Okay, so that's all about initial stuff about defining vectors. Now suppose I want to define matrices. So suppose A is the matrix 5, 3.2, 7.6, minus 6.1, 3.7, and 2.4. And let's take another matrix B, which is, suppose, 7.9, 3.1, 2.8, 2.4, 11.2, minus 4.2, minus 1.5, 1.1, and 9.77. Then let's first enter R. Let's first enter A. So first we shall enter the values of A column by column. That means start like this. Start first column, enter all of them, second column, enter all of them, third column, enter all of them. So let's write A as a vector. Let me A is a vector 5 minus 6.1 3.2 3.7 7.6 2.4 and then let me convert A to the matrix with 2 rows. I don't have to tell it that it has like 3 columns, because if it has like 6 elements and 2 rows, that means the number of columns is 6 by 2 3. So let me run this piece of code. So now A is the matrix which we wanted. 5 3.2 7.6 minus 6.1 3.7 2.4. Let me also enter the matrix B. So first we enter B as a vector 7.9 3.1 2 sorry actually let's do that. Let me teach you a trick which is I didn't plan on teaching you, but let me do that. So instead of entering column by column, let me enter row by row. So I'll first enter the first row 7.9 3.1 2.8 2.4 11.2 minus 4.2 minus 1.5 1.1 and 9.77. And then let me convert B to a matrix. B equal to matrix B, number of rows is 3. Up to now everything is same, but because we have entered the values row by row, I have to say by row equal to true, and this true should be in capitals. So let me run this. And we see that B is the matrix that we actually wanted. So we'll just learn 2 basic things with matrices. For example, A is a 2 by 3 matrix, B is a 3 by 3 matrix. So we can do obviously A times B, but like we can multiply A and B, but the symbol like will be A percent times percent B. This symbol is clumsy, but it is what it is. So let's do that. Let's do A times B. Don't do A times B like this. It cannot be done. So do A percent times percent B. And obviously, like if you multiply a 2 by 3 with a 3 by 3, it will become 2 by 3 as it is. And let me copy this down. Okay, next is how to solve a matrix, like how to invert a matrix, how to find B inverse. You do that by solve B. That's it. So you write solve B. And apparently this is the inverse. Alright. So let's copy this down. Okay. So suppose B is the matrix that we have, and suppose so B is this matrix that we have, and suppose W is a vector 5, 13 and 72, just some vector. Now suppose we want to solve the equation B V equals W. So where B is a 3 by 3 matrix, V is a 3 by 1 vector, and W is a 3 by 1 vector. So notice that we know the value of B, we know the value of W, but we don't know the value of little v, and that's the point. And solving this is like just like solving a equation in just like solving 3 equations in 3 variables. I mean, I hope you get this point, that it's like the first equation, for example, is, I mean, I'll not write all of them, but let me write one. The first equation shall be 7.9 times V1 plus 3.1 times V2 plus 2.8 times V3 equals 5. Similarly, there is a second equation, there is a third equation. So how to do it? Obviously, you guys are thinking that the answer is V equals B inverse W. So, let me enter W first. So W equals 5, 13, 72. All right. 5, 13, 72. That does the job. You are thinking we'll write V equals B inverse, B inverse times W, and this will actually do the job. This will actually do the job. So what's V? What are the solutions? Minus, these are solutions. V1 is minus 3.3016, V2 is 4.2617, and V3 is 6.3827. But there's a better way of doing it. It's slightly better. You can write V equals solve B comma W. That's it. Instead of solve B times W, just write solve B comma W, and R will understand it, what you're trying to say. So it gives you the same answer. The answer is same, but it's slightly better. It's for certain reasons.